We're going to work on Ude Garami. Now, Ude Garami means arm entanglement. Ude means arm. Garami means to entangle, to wrap around, or to lace. Okay, it's kind of like a grapevine around this guy's arm. And there are two fundamental directions. We're going to work on the upward direction tonight, but there's also a downward direction. We're going to work on this one. And both have real good rate of success. I mean, these are nasty arm locks. And you know, it's one of those things like, it's kind of like, you know, the silent partner in a business. You know, a lot of people may know, hey, that guy's got a good jiu-jitsu, but odds are probably pretty good. It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Odds are pretty good. The guy's got that good jiu-jitsu. He's probably caught a lot of guys with that Ude Garami too. It's a sneaky move that people don't expect. So it's a very aggressive, you know, sneaky is good in ground fighting. We want sneaky, that's good. So on Derek here with a just, you know, side position here, I got a Monogatami chest hold situation here, okay? Now, if he's got any fight in his heart, and any opponents will go ahead fighting that hard, look at where he immediately starts to push. He wants to open space. He wants to be able to shrimp in. You know, he wants to fight back. Okay, so we know that's going to happen. All right, so my job now is I've got to think tactically, and Ude Garami is a very good tactical arm lock. I got to think, how can I control points on his arm to eventually get it to crank? And it's not just an elbow lock; it's a shoulder lock too. It's pretty nasty. So he's turning here. Okay, so I see what's the nearest thing I can get and what's the nearest threat to me. Well, it's his hand, it's his wrist, okay? So what I can do, I can start isolating things. I'm gonna start maybe trapping here, and there are a lot of ways to get that arm. I'm just showing you one of many ways. Derek's probably gonna show some different ways too. But I've trapped here, and now I can start working here and I start trapping the wrist. I wanna get this wrist, that's my focal point. And you know, don't try to be super sly, just be aggressive and go for it. Okay, because that's probably what's going to get it for you. All right, so he's doing this, and I'm controlling the shoulder. I'm, you know, riding it here, and that's it. But I'm start going here like this, and I want now. Once I start doing this, my next phase, if I just try to shove him down, and he's stronger than me, he'll push me back. So I want to get my elbow right in his neck, and that's a really important thing now because now I've got a fulcrum to work. Okay, and now he's going to be a lot more pliable. A lot more malleable. So I've got him here and I'm controlling here. My next step is this. See this? I'm not trying to push down. I'm swinging that elbow in. And see that now? And I can just form my arm figure 4 here. And now I've got a nice Ude Garami. Okay? So now when I'm grabbing here in this, I may hook him like this. I can meat hook him too, not have my thumb in. But this one I want to trap. I want to trap this pretty good here. And then when I swing it around here, now I'll go ahead and meat hook here. Right? See how I'm grabbing with my thumb? I don't have to grab this one. If you want to, you can. But that's just me, okay? I've got here, and now I've got a crank. Now, when I put the pressure on, all right, a lot of people will try to flatten it out and then try to crank. Keep it up here slightly, okay? Like Derek says, you're going to paint his knuckles on the mat, okay? And when I do this, I'm going to paint his knuckles on the mat, and I'm going to crank up that way. And it hurts really bad. It hurts the shoulder and elbow. If I try to do this and lift, he's got a lot more play in that shoulder. So if I keep this elbow in here on the side of the neck, like this, and see how my hands are up, and what's going to really touch the mat will be, if it does touch the mat, his knuckles will be painting the mat. And look at how I turn, and I turn in this way. See how I turn my whole body? My body's doing a lot of the work, not just my arms. So if he's in the same weight class as me, I need this extra torque with my body to make sure I turn that elbow and shoulder, okay? I'm heavier than him quite a bit. I could probably turn that without too much trouble. He's a pretty strong guy, but I am bigger than him, okay? So I've got that advantage. But if he's my weight class, or I'm his weight class, I need that turn. See how I'm just turning the torque, okay? Now those are the basics of getting that Ude Garami. Again, aggressively go for that point, that focal point. I want to get that anchor. And once I get that, put the elbow in the neck and start cranking, okay? You want to keep things tight, and not in a bad way for you, controlled and compact. If you give him room to move, Mike's got more room to angle out of that and get out. This hurts more when it's in tight like this and you're cranking. I mean, it just hurts a lot more. It's a really high rate of success on Ude Garami. If you catch somebody in Ude Garami, and there are a lot of ways to do it. We're just showing pretty basic stuff here, but you can win a lot of matches with pretty basic stuff here. This has won a lot of matches in every combat sport there is, and in a fight too.
Yeah.
And in a fight too. Okay. So key points, trap the arm aggressively. Go for an anchor point, like both we were doing that. Also, get your elbow in the side of his neck and his ear. Something that you got to have a fulcrum to work with. It's got to be there. And then also, when you crank it, use your body to turn, not just your arms. A lot of guys make a mistake. They try to just use their arms to make Ude Garami work. It's your whole body into it, and it just does. And also remember, it's a quick. See how suddenly he tapped? It's a quick one. It just happened just like that. And you could break an arm, could really jack up a shoulder quickly if you don't have a mature attitude about this. When he taps, snaps his fingers, and taps his foot, something, when he gives a sign of surrender, he says, that's good in practice. Let him know we don't want to hurt each other, okay? Now, you'll have a dominant side. You'll probably have a side you like, but Ude Garami, any arm lock, really, you should be pretty ambidextrous at it. Okay, so we've been doing it just against the right arm tonight, but in practice here tonight, let's work against the left arm too. And the same principles apply just on this other side of his body.